Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Chief Content Officer Triple H hung up his boots a few years after suffering a cardiac event. He recently opened up on his health. The Game announced his retirement at WrestleMania 38 due to a cardiac issue he suffered in September 2021. His last match took place on an episode of Raw in that same year against Randy Orton, which ended in no contest. The Cerebral Assassin is set to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. He is going to be inducted by his best friend Shawn Michaels. Since retiring from in-ring competition, the 14-time world champion has been the creative head of WWE and is considered the brains behind the company's recent resurgence in storyline quality and business. During an appearance on the High Performance podcast, The Game talked about his heart condition. He stated that he was healthy and that his heart was 100%. "I have defibrillated my chest, I don't think about it and it's never gone off and my heart's 100%. And I'm healthy," said Triple H. 1:11 and 17 seconds to 1:11 and 31 seconds. Hunter has made meaningful changes in WWE since becoming the creative head. One of his biggest challenges to date will be WrestleMania 41, which is around a week away. It remains to be seen where Triple H will lead the company in 2025. As the road to WrestleMania 41 heats up, there's an electricity in the air unlike any other year. Fans worldwide are speculating, debating, and predicting every twist and turn. But amid all the championship drama and dream match rumors, one voice has risen above the noise, one man whose words have sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. That man is Paul Triple H Levesque. In an emotional, candid update broadcast live from the WWE Performance Center, Triple H broke his silence regarding his health, sharing an announcement that was equal parts sobering and inspiring. The 14-time world champion, turned chief content officer, stood before a packed media scrum, flanked by his longtime ally Shawn Michaels and WWE CEO Nick Khan, as he addressed fans directly. "It's been a journey," Triple H began, his trademark gravelly voice steady but filled with emotion. "You all know my story. I've battled inside that ring for over 2 decades, and I've fought battles outside of it too. A couple of years ago, I faced a cardiac event that forced me to step away from in-ring competition. It was one of the toughest decisions of my life." He paused, clearly reflecting on the gravity of that time. Fans watching online flooded social media with messages of support, their collective heartbeats synced with his every word. Triple H continued, "I thought stepping out of the ring would be the end of my battles, but life always has a way of throwing another curveball. Earlier this year, my medical team discovered some irregularities, complications from my past condition. For a moment, I feared the worst. But I made a promise to myself, to my family, and to all of you, that I would fight." He took a deep breath, eyes scanning the room filled with reporters and camera crews. "I'm here today to tell you, I am fighting. And I am winning." The crowd erupted in applause, and even the typically reserved Shawn Michaels clapped with a proud, brotherly grin. Triple H went on to reveal that after several procedures and an intensive rehabilitation program, his doctors have cleared him for full-time executive duties just in time for WrestleMania season. While he confirmed that he won't be returning to in-ring action, a reality he's come to peace with, he vowed to be more present and involved than ever. "This year's WrestleMania is not just another event," he emphasized. "It's a statement. It's a reminder of what WWE is all about: resilience, passion, and family. I might not lace up the boots, but make no mistake, my fingerprints are all over this card. From the opening bell to the main event, this is my way of saying, I'm still here. And I'm not going anywhere." What made the moment even more poignant was when he addressed his family directly. His wife, Stephanie McMahon, had reportedly been his pillar of strength throughout his health battle. Triple H glanced at the camera, his voice thick with gratitude. "Steph, our girls, you've been my rock. This victory is ours." In classic Triple H fashion, he couldn't resist sprinkling in a little excitement for the fans, teasing major surprises for WrestleMania 41. "I'll tell you this much," he smirked, a spark returning to his eyes. "There are things in store for this WrestleMania that will blow your mind. We're talking returns, debuts, dream matches, and moments you'll be telling your kids about. We're going to make history together." Speculation immediately ignited across the WWE universe. Could he be referring to the much-rumored return of legends? Might we finally see a certain People's Champion grace the grandest stage of them all? Or perhaps a new faction rising under Triple H's creative vision? backstage sources later revealed that Triple H has been heavily involved in shaping the main event picture, and has been personally mentoring several rising stars set to shine on the WrestleMania stage. Names like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, and Tiffany Stratton have reportedly been part of closed-door meetings with the game, laying the groundwork for what many insiders are calling the WrestleMania of the future. Triple H also took a moment to acknowledge the fans, whose unwavering support fueled his recovery. To the WWE Universe, he said, his voice thick with sincerity, "You never stopped believing in me, and I'll never stop giving you my all. You lifted me when I was down, and because of you, I'm standing tall today. WrestleMania 41 is as much for you as it is for anyone else." As the press conference drew to a close, Shawn Michaels placed a supportive hand on Triple H's shoulder and added with a chuckle, "The King of Kings isn't done just yet, folks. He's just getting started." The moment captured everything fans love about WWE: resilience, drama, and the unbreakable bond between the company and its loyal audience. Within minutes, hashtags like #TripleStrong and #Road to WrestleMania 41 began trending worldwide. Superstars from past and present chimed in, sending their well wishes. Roman Reigns tweeted, "Only respect for the king. Let's make this WrestleMania the biggest ever." Becky Lynch posted, "Triple H believed in me when no one else did. Time to return the favor at WrestleMania 41. Even retired legends such as Ric Flair, Batista, and The Undertaker praised Triple H's resilience, with Undertaker himself posting a rare video message, "Paul, you've always been a warrior. See you in Philly, brother." As WWE hurtles toward WrestleMania 41, Triple H's powerful update serves as a reminder that the heart of WWE beats as strong as ever. While his in-ring career may have concluded, his impact behind the scenes continues to shape the future of sports entertainment. For Triple H, WrestleMania 41 isn't just another event, it's a personal victory lap, a celebration of life, legacy, and the unyielding spirit of a true champion. And as the world prepares for the spectacle in Philadelphia, one thing is clear: the game is far from over. Triple H makes a stunning admission about his in-ring return. Triple H received a second chance at life after he recovered from a cardiac episode in the summer of 2021. Following this, he had understandably hung up his boots. He made a stunning confession about his in-ring return. On a fantastic episode of the High Performance Podcast, the King of Kings was asked about the cardiac episode and the restrictions that it puts on his life to this day, over 3.5 years later. Triple H revealed that he is actually allowed to do anything he wants to do, barring wrestling. However, he made a stunning admission by stating that he has no desire to return to the ring anymore. "I've said this a bunch. Short of the health scare, because my health is great. My heart is 100% and I'm healthy, and I do everything I want to do, except wrestle, which I don't want to do anymore anyway." 1:11 and 17 seconds to 1:11 and 31 seconds. Continuing to talk about his health, Triple H opened up by saying that he viewed the health scare as a second chance in life and, subsequently, recalibrated his entire perspective on things. For example, he said that when he has a bad show, he can now just look to the fact that he has a wife and 3 kids waiting at home. He said he has everything he could ever want and more, regardless of how bad things are. He called life a gift and said that despite how easy it is to rationalize it all, such incidents like the health scare fundamentally change who one is as a human being. A few years ago, the news came out of nowhere about his health scare, and it was only revealed much later that the game was done with his in-ring career. While he ideally would have liked to have had a farewell match similar to the one Batista had with him at WrestleMania 35, there certainly are far more important things in life than a grand wrestling match. Either way, Triple H has reached the pinnacle of the industry in WWE many times over, and one can only speculate that such a thing must have been a part of his line of reasoning when looking at life through the lens of the second chance he received. It was a press conference that began like any other. WWE had gathered media from around the world in Stamford, Connecticut, to preview the upcoming slate of international events. Cameras flashed, reporters scribbled notes, and executives smiled politely as they reeled off corporate strategies and brand expansions. But no one expected the moment that would stop the wrestling world dead in its tracks. At the center of it all was Paul Triple H Levesque, the man who had seamlessly transitioned from the game to the game-changer behind WWE's creative resurgence. Dressed sharply in a tailored navy suit, he fielded questions with the usual poise of a seasoned executive. Talk of SummerSlam in Cleveland, the growing influence of NXT Europe, and even a cheeky tease about free agent signings kept the energy high. Then came the curveball. A journalist from the UK raised his hand, slightly hesitant, but determined. "Paul," he began, "there's been a lot of chatter online about dream matches, especially with so many legends still making sporadic appearances. We know your in-ring days ended after your cardiac event, but, if you don't mind us asking, do you ever think about lacing up the boots again, even just once?" The room fell silent. Triple H, known for his commanding presence both in and out of the ring, leaned back in his chair. For a fleeting moment, the corporate veneer slipped away, and the fire of the game flickered in his eyes. He took a breath, steady and reflective. "You know," he said slowly, his voice rich with both gravitas and vulnerability, "I didn't think I would ever even entertain that question again." Reporters leaned forward instinctively. Phones were raised, cameras zoomed in tighter. "When I went through the health scare a few years back, I was done," Triple H admitted, tapping his chest with a slight, almost imperceptible gesture. "Flat out done. There were days I wasn't even sure I'd be here to watch WrestleMania, let alone be part of it. And honestly, I made peace with it. I was blessed with a career far beyond what I ever imagined. 14 World Championships, main events at Mania, DX, Evolution. I had it all." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. "But something's happened over the past year. Being so deep in the trenches creatively, watching these men and women pour their souls into that ring every night, it does something to you. You start to feel it again. Not just in your mind, but in your heart." He gave a wry smile, the kind fans had seen for decades when Triple H was about to drop a bombshell. "I'll be honest, I've been training," he revealed, sending a ripple through the audience. "Not because I'm planning a full-time comeback, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But because I wanted to know if it was still possible. I needed to know if the fire that defined me for so long still burns the same way." The media erupted. Flashes went off like fireworks as reporters shouted over one another for follow-up questions. "Are you cleared to compete? Who would your dream opponent be? Would you wrestle at WrestleMania?" Triple H raised his hands, calling for calm with the authority of a locker room general. "Let me be clear," he continued. "I'm not making any promises. My health comes first, it always will. But I've had long conversations with my doctors. I've had even longer conversations with my family. And if the stars align, if the circumstances are right, and if the WWE Universe truly wants to see it, then maybe, just maybe, you'll hear that Motorhead theme hit one more time." The room exploded in cheers and applause. Even the most stoic journalists couldn't help but feel the adrenaline surge. The thought of the King of Kings making one final march down the ramp electrified the imagination. He wasn't finished. In fact, Triple H added, almost playfully, "There's a list. I've got a little list tucked away of guys I'd love to share the ring with before it's all said and done." He began to tick off names with a sly grin. "Cody Rhodes, to settle unfinished business. Seth Rollins, to test myself against this generation's architect. Gunther, because I want to see if I can still survive the hardest chops in the game. And Roman Reigns." The mere mention of Reigns sent a collective gasp through the crowd. "You think about what Roman's done, the era he's built. It'd be the ultimate test," Triple H mused, nodding thoughtfully. "No politics, no power plays, just two gladiators seeing who really is the head of the table." As he wrapped up the press conference, Triple H left the door tantalizingly open. "All I can say is, never say never in this business. And I mean that now more than ever." Social media exploded within seconds. #TripleR turned trended worldwide. WWE stars past and present chimed in, with some issuing direct challenges, while others simply expressed their excitement at the possibility of seeing their mentor and rival back in action. Shawn Michaels, watching from Orlando, posted a simple but telling message, "One more time, brother." Stephanie McMahon, ever the supportive force behind the scenes, shared an old photo of Triple H from his early career with the caption, "The game never truly ends." The wrestling world buzzed with speculation. Could it happen at SummerSlam? Survivor Series? WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas? The possibilities were endless. Fans debated dream scenarios, a clash with Rollins for the torch-passing moment, a brutal war with Gunther for sheer physical spectacle, or the colossal showdown with Roman Reigns to determine once and for all the true tribal chief of WWE. For now, Triple H had offered only a glimpse, a carefully calculated spark to reignite the flames of anticipation. But in that brief moment of raw honesty, one thing became clear. Triple H may have stepped away from the ring, but the ring had never truly left him. And if the time was right, the world might soon witness the gameplay once more.